So welcome everybody. I'm really excited you're here, and I am going to run through a set of slides and talk about, what coaching is and really more from my perspective. And I do have a little video of my team, and so Jen's on that. She's one of the stars of the video, so I'll be sharing that. But let me switch over to my PowerPoint. And if you have any questions, I'm kind of going to be looking at my PowerPoint, so just type them in if you can in the chat part of the screen, and if not, then just jot them down and we'll talk at the end of my presentation. All right, so, I need to share my screen. That would be helpful. Let me do that. Okay. So, and I need to move this, you guys can't see, but there's all right, slideshow. From start. Okay. All right, so what is coaching? This is my intro slide, but, in summary, it's all about fitness, accountability, wealth, and relationships and nutrition. And wealth is kind of in the middle, and to me, wealth, it's more than just financial. It's about the richness of the relationships and how you feel, and it's just it's been awesome for me. So that is what I like to share. So I just want to give a little intro to who I am and what we're doing here. So I am also known, I'm Lori Wright. I'm also known as Not Your Average Grandma. So I have a like page called that and a website called that. And I also founded Not Your Average Army, which is a team of coaches, and we are awesome. So very proud of our team. So I'm 56. I am a 2-star lifetime diamond, which means nothing to you, but it's, Beachbody has ranks, so that's where I am. I'm a mom and a grandma, and I've been a coach for 22 months, and I've been full-time coach for 4 months. I worked a full-time corporate job, so I did that for 1.5 years while I was doing the coaching as a part-time thing. So how did I get here? How the heck did I get here? So it was totally just stumbled into it, lucky. But I wanted to go back to kind of the beginning of where, I think we all have a weight loss journey or a weight, kind of how we deal with weight story. I mean, all women do for the most part. So in 1972, I was a freshman in high school, and I at some point realized that I was fat. And back then, working out wasn't a big thing. And so all I knew is that as a freshman in high school, I had friends who boys were interested in them and they weren't interested in me. And so I had a mother who was an anorexic, and she struggled. She actually wasn't anorexic when I knew her, but when she was 19, she was anorexic. And so she, I think, always struggled with a disease that she was always kind of depriving herself of food. And what she did is she overfed her children. And so, of course, looking back as an adult, she's always, addicted to laxatives and a lot of things that come with eating disorders. But I remember she would make my father these 2 sandwiches, and she would make me 2 sandwiches, and I would eat them all. And so when I got to be the spring of my freshman year, I remember thinking, I wonder if I'm fat. And so I got on the scale and it said 142. And I remember thinking, 5'5" I was at the time. Maybe that's a little too much weight. Maybe I just need to stop eating. And so I was lucky enough that I had started getting into horseback riding. And so I started doing that in the afternoons instead of coming home and opening the refrigerator. So I basically lost 30 pounds that before I went back to my sophomore year. And people were shocked when I went back to school. And it was so funny because I remember thinking, well, I don't feel like I'm any really different, but I knew that I had gotten obviously new clothes, and the other clothes weren't fitting. But So from that point on, I was obsessed about like maintaining my weight and never getting heavy. And so when I had my two children, I immediately got back into my pre-pregnancy weight. And I always had an interest in working out from the time I was in college, actually. So then menopause came into the picture, and I know some of my team is younger and they don't have to deal with menopause yet, but my market and the people I like to help are menopausal women. And I just started putting on some weight, and I was doing the same things I was doing before, but I wasn't really having any, I wasn't maintaining anymore. My weight was going up. And so one day, my younger daughter was getting ready to get married, and I remember thinking, oh, I look terrible, and my arms are fat, and I was worried about how a dress would look on me. That wanted to show my arms, but they didn't look worth like I wanted to show them. And so I got on a scale, and I guess I hadn't weighed myself for a while, and my weight was 144. And so that was 2 pounds more than when I was a fat teenager. And so I was pretty mortified, actually. And so I ended up starting to track my weight on, I used Lose It, and I started doing push-ups, and I lost 6 pounds before the wedding. And so my arms looked actually pretty good in the time that I had. And then after the wedding, I gained 4 back. And so it was about that time that my daughter had found out about Beachbody coaching, and she signed up as a coach. And as all good moms do, I wanted to support her. So Shaun T and Shakeology I started November 4th, 2 years ago on my first challenge group. So I feel like I'm missing us. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. I think I went. Okay. So I joined a challenge group to support my daughter, who is a new coach. And honestly, I just fell in love with the format. I was going to the gym before, and like I said, I was gaining weight. So my gym, whatever I was doing wasn't working. Elliptical, treadmill, just stuff that same old, working same muscles every day, not doing anything different. And so I loved the at home. I was saving time because instead of getting in the car, going to the gym, doing different machines for 45 minutes, I was like, T25 is 25 minutes. And it was done in 25 minutes, and I didn't have to leave my house, and I loved it. And I loved Shaun T. It was a great, great program for me. And so I loved Shakeology. So Shakeology, I got, what's called a challenge pack. It's a bundle with Shakeology in the package. And so and I never drank shakes before. So it was kind of new to me, but I like ice cream. So I thought, well, I'll try it. And Shakeology is all natural, and it's 70 superfoods. So I'm, a health nut. So I like the fact that I stopped taking my vitamins because Shakeology gave me all my vitamins. And so after the second month, I continued on, paid full price. But the third month, my daughter finally convinced me that there wasn't any strings attached. It was like just a discount. I could sign up as a coach. I didn't want anything to do with being a coach. I wanted, I thought it was a network marketing. I don't want to do that. So I just got the discount, and then not too long after, I realized that, hey, this worked for me, and it can help a lot of people. If it worked for me, and I struggled I honestly wanted to lose 10 pounds for 10 years, even though I was still size 8, but we all want to lose 10 pounds. So I felt like this works. I lost 17, 18 pounds when I was like trying to lose 10 pounds. And so I really wanted to pay it forward and help other people. So I kind of got into it. I started thinking about being a coach for that reason. And then at some point I realized I started seeing the successful coaches and the fact that you're helping people and earning an income. And I thought, hey, I could, and I realized it was a passion that I never realized that a job could be so fun. And so I thought, hey, maybe I can retire early. And at the time I was making 6 figures, and I didn't think that I could. I thought I was really kind of tied like ball and chain to my career. And so I thought, I'm going to see if I can leave this place in early. And in 18 months, I set a goal to do that, and I did it. And so I am so happy and so glad that I did that. So, so I'm going to hold on a second. These are in, I got to get out of here. Let me get out. Okay. So I'm going to go back and got that. Okay. So now is when I want you to introduce you to the team. So I did this video actually for this purpose of sharing, the variety of women that are on my team. We actually do have a couple of guys on the team. But it's really been phenomenal that I've met all these women actually through Facebook mostly. Very few people that I've met in person and knew before, I did this. And so I like nobody in my neighborhood or nobody that, I worked with. These are all people that were strangers on the internet. And so it's been really fantastic. So I'm going to switch over to YouTube and let's watch the video. So, the one of the things that I wanted to say is that I asked them to describe themselves, what they like about Shakeology, why did they become a coach, what do they like about being a coach, what has surprised them most about coaching or Beachbody or the company Beachbody, and how it has changed your life. So that is what they are going to be talking about. So here we go.
I'm from Shepherdstown, West Virginia.
My name is Colleen Barcelona. I'm 55 years young.
My name is Heidi Ryder, and I am 53 years old.
I am 27.
I'm 55, divorced.
I'm 59.
I'm in school full time. I am the vice president of a company in the logistics arena.
I'm an advertising manager for a newspaper. I'm a chief secretary in a middle school.
I'm a regional HR manager, which means I travel a lot. I have MS, and so I don't have a full-time job.
I live in central New Jersey.
I live in Shepherdstown.
And I live in Idaho Falls.
I love to quilt, read, and knit items for my grandbabies. I do love sports. I'm thrilled the football season is here.
I grew up sewing. I love to sew. I love to quilt. But more than that, I love people.
When I started using Shakeology, I felt completely different within just the first few days.
I love the way it makes me feel, and I have no cravings for sweets anymore.
I was addicted to Dr. Pepper, and this has actually curbed those sugar cravings.
I've always been addicted to soda. It gives me energy. It also makes me feel great. It makes my hair thicker. It's making my skin glow.
I like the fact that it comes with the 30 different recipes for whatever flavor you choose.
It gives me this natural energy, and it just makes me feel better. I'm not putting junk in my body anymore. I'm putting nutrients and whole foods, and I just feel better.
It makes me feel so much better.
And it definitely makes me more regular.
If you have never tried it, you absolutely have to try it.
And it's really changed my life.
I'm definitely not your average grandma, so I had to answer her ad. I answered her ad, and I said, before you knew it, it was like we've known each other forever. So
the accountability, the friends that I gained, the excitement that it gave me, I felt like that is where I needed to be, because I've always wanted to make the world a better place.
It's just to get the discount on Shakeology. And then I did my first challenge group purely just to help my family.
I was a fitness trainer, and it was probably the most rewarding 9 years of my life, helping people achieve their goals. And I loved making them feel good about themselves, because I wanted to help so many other people lose weight like I was.
End of our challenge group, they were talking to us about the discount, and so I thought, yeah, I'll do that, because I wanted to keep drinking the Shakeology. And when I shared my results after that first challenge course, and all of a sudden all these people were saying, oh, I want to do it too. How do I do it? And I thought, well, I just signed up to be a coach, so I can help them now. And so it really, I hadn't given it a second thought, but it almost just happened naturally.
I just like to feel like I'm part of a big group of people who matter. Now, we have such a problem with obesity,
and what it does to people. And if I can help in some small way, to help people learn how to eat better, portion control, that's going to make a big difference in people's lives.
It gives you the motivation to become better yourself.
I never realized my passion for helping people. And by helping people, it is helping people like me, and I'm trying to get them out of the rut that I was in.
And encouraging people and encouraging them to take responsibility for their life in an easy, kind way.
I'm helping them, but in a sense, they're also helping me because they're keeping me on my toes and holding me accountable too. They're watching me to see what I'm doing. I'm leading them, so I have to lead by example.
I like the fact that we have such a huge family.
This company cares about people, and that more than anything made me want to be a part of it.
And women encouraging women blows me away. I'm not in that existence. I'm in an existence where it's let's tear down and hurt who we can hurt. And Beachbody shows me my life doesn't have to be that. My life is all going to be all about encouraging and people that can encourage me.
The camaraderie that you get with everybody, that people that you don't even know, all of a sudden they just want to become your friends.
I'm really impressed with their marketing and also with their products.
Everyone is so genuine, from the top 10 coaches to the elite to the CEOs to the salespeople to just anyone you meet. That was something that was just unbelievable to me. The stand behind the products, the research behind the products, the Shakeology and the ingredients, and it's just mind blowing. It's not about just selling things in volume. It's about delivering the best of the best. Once you get into it, you just want to help more people. You see somebody and you think that person could really use my help. I need to reach out to them, and you do. And it works, and it helps them, and they are forever thankful to you for that.
Know that there could be a company that was so good to its people.
A problem or anything, that you can get 24/7 results.
Their mission statement, and you see where they're headed.
Even someone like myself, anyone can be a coach.
Everybody wants the best for everybody, and I think that's wonderful. Everyone matters. That is the most truest statement about anything about Beachbody. Everyone matters at Beachbody.
So as of today, I have officially lost 17 pounds.
So far, I've lost almost 20 pounds.
I actually tried on a dress the other day that I had worn about 20 years ago, and I got into it and looked good.
Mom was going to have her gallbladder removed last year, and through clean eating and exercising, she now has no health issues. It's gone from a size 10 to a size 4, so she feels great and fabulous every single day.
It's enabled me to keep up with my grandchildren.
21-Day Fix is really what did it for us. It has taught me so much about the proper way to eat.
That's what's really helped us out tremendously because of the food. We're eating a lot healthier. We're not eating the garbage that we used to eat.
I'm obviously losing weight, so that's a huge change for me. I've struggled with it for several years now, and for the first time in 5 years, I've found something that truly works for me. By taking some time for myself, it's in turn made me a better person, which has made me a better mom and a better wife and a better boss and a better daughter, sister, everything. Just being happy with myself, and it just radiates. When this opportunity was presented to me, I never even really imagined that it would be a way to make money or to earn an income, because I just wanted to, use my Shakeology, keep losing weight, help my friends and family do the same. Last month, I was able to pay our mortgage with my earnings. So that was huge. And we have a goal that within the next 10 months, we are going to have all of our debt minus our mortgage paid off.
That I can do what I dream to do.
Ooh, okay, let me stop that. I don't want to go on to anything else. All right. Okay.
Hi there.
Oh,
This is going to be a webinar on like pages and how to create like.
that's one of my trainings. See what I do? Yeah. All right. So, switch back over to PowerPoint. So, I mean, I think the big point that I like to make with showing the team is that everybody is so different, and everybody came to Beachbody for a different reason. Everybody lives in a different place. Everybody has their own challenges, but honestly, everybody came because they wanted to improve their health. And in the process, they found, people that cared, and they found products that worked. And it's, that is just real, true people and their experience. So I thought that was really important. I think I don't want you just to hear my experience. I wanted you to hear their experience too. And so hopefully you like that and you're still with us, because that was a little bit long, but I think it was important. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and move on. So what is Beachbody? So a lot of people, and I've had people say this, honestly, who are like my age, and one woman said, I'll never have a beach body. And I said, oh no, we won't ever have a beach body. But I said, but we can certainly have something that's a lot better than we have now. And so, in fact, a lot of the people that are associated with Beachbody, they've been doing this for a while, and a lot of them are now in their 50s. So 50s is the new 30, right? Mm-hmm. So anyways, the mission statement for Beachbody is to help people lead healthy and fulfilling lives. And that is something, when I signed up as a coach, I didn't know that was a mission statement, but when I found out that was a mission statement, it was really, it resonated with me, because I think that is what, I want to work for a company that has that kind of a mission statement. So I actually worked for AOL for many years, 13 years. I worked for them the very beginning, and we had a mission statement of to help to make the internet as integral to the household as the television and the telephone. And so I loved that mission statement, because I thought, that's something that employees can get behind. That's something that people who represent the company can get behind. And it means something, and it's going to affect a lot of people, and it's going to affect a lot of lives. And so when I came to the realization that Beachbody had this mission statement that I could get behind, and that really filled a passion of mine, I thought it was really terrific. And there's a lot of parallels to AOL, and how AOL was really a company before its time, and changed a lot, and it was really a great place to work at the time. So anyways, back into what is Beachbody. So it was founded in 1998 by two guys, John Congdon and Carl Deichler. And so John Congdon's the president, and he's behind the scenes. Carl Deichler's the CEO, and he's up front and center, and he's very visible and very supportive of all of the coaches. So basically, they wanted an effective solution for weight loss. They were very into infomercials, so they knew a lot about infomercials. So that's kind of where they started, is with selling programs through infomercials. So they had a lot of familiar brands, and that's one of the great things about being a coach, is because most people, they might not know what Beachbody is, but they know what P90X is, or they know what Insanity is, or they know what the 21-Day Fix is. And so one of the things I love is that there are fitness programs for every person, beginner, intermediate, advanced. And when I started, they really didn't have, they had some programs for beginners, but a lot of advanced programs, and they've put out several great programs like P90 and 21-Day Fix and PIO and now Size. And all those programs are so great for people who are just beginning and need something that's not quite so advanced like Insanity. So all fitness programs, they have modifiers, and that's somebody who's doing a easier version of the exercises. And so I love that. When I started T25, I couldn't do a lot of the exercises, and I followed the modifier. And as I got more strong and better and more fit, I was able to do more of the non-modified exercises. So I like the modifiers too, because if you can't do the exercise, it's a good way to measure how you're getting better, is when you stop modifying. So in 2008, what happened was they realized that people were not having success because they were buying the programs and they were putting them on the shelf. And they had a message board system at the time, and the people that were actually getting on the message boards and getting support from other people were the ones that were losing the weight and having the most success. So they came up with this, giving a free coach when anybody buys a program. And so they had a meeting, and they called in a bunch of people who were like fitness people that were on the message boards helping people. And they said, hey, what do you think about this idea about, having a coach network? And you can earn money for helping people. And so that's how it actually started. And so you as a coach can earn money through retail sales or by building a team of coaches, and they help people. So, and one of the things I like to say, because I think of it right here, is that I or no other coach gets anything for recruiting another coach. Some multi-level marketing companies reward for adding to your network. Beachbody doesn't like that model, and I don't either, because I think it sends the wrong message and it makes people do things for the wrong reason. And the only way that you can earn an income as a coach is if your team succeeds helping people. So if your team helps people, then you get, rewarded for that through bonuses. Just like any other company, where if your team does well as a manager, you would get rewarded through bonuses. So I love that model, and it makes coaches work really hard to help their teams and to provide the right training. So that's why it's important to be on a good team. So the reasons I like being a coach, and a lot of the people on my team, this is a kind of a common thread. I like to help people. So to have a front row seat and to see people's lives transform right in front of your eyes, I mean, it chokes me up just talking about it, because I have had a lot of success with people, and it just is so rewarding when they feel so great when they came to me. So, really not happy and not feeling good at all about themselves and not having any kind of solution for it. So the other thing that's great about being a coach is that you have accountability. Some of the coaches on the video talked about that. So you get inspiration from other coaches. You get this accountability from running these groups, that you have to be a good role model. So even if you fall off the wagon, you get back on because you got to. You meet absolutely phenomenal people that uplift you every day. It's like you meet, I have better friends on Facebook now from doing this business than I had before. So it's been really a really enriching experience for me. And then it's not anything about selling, which I love, because I hate selling. I hate salespeople. So we teach you how to do, it right on social media, how you share your experience. It's all about telling a story through your posts, and kind of product placement, cleverly. And not in a way that's yucky, like some network marketing companies. So, and then we all help each other. We even if somebody isn't even on your team, we help each other, and it's fantastic. And the top coaches share what works for them. So you'd think everybody would be competing against each other, and it's not like that. Somebody does a great ad on Facebook and they share it with other people. So you get opportunities to travel to cool places and win prizes. They give prizes every month if you hit certain, the certain levels that, is Success Club is what they call it in Beachbody. And so you can work from anywhere, and that's freedom, is what that is. So this is a picture that gives kind of a composite of a few different trips. On the top third of the page, the top 10 coaches are rewarded every year with a trip. And this was a trip to Italy. And then they this past year went to France. And this next year they're going to Bora Bora. So they do a big, huge week-long trip with the top 10 coaches and their spouses, or their a significant other, whoever they want to invite. And then Nashville is where we have our annual conference. It's at the end of July. This is last year's dates. It's coming up at the end of July this year. We basically shut down the entire main street of Nashville and did a super workout, and it was really fantastic. Cancun was a trip in April, and it was fabulous. All inclusive, free food and drinks and room and board. It was really great. And then the bottom picture is every quarter there are events called Super Saturday, and you get to meet top coaches, you get training, you get tips, and you get to, if you want to bring guests, you can bring guests, and you just get to mingle with, again, like-minded people, which is great. This is a picture this is my daughter here in the middle. She is my coach, and these are all her coaches. So, but it's a kind of a cute picture. It gives it an idea of all the different professions. So we've got a mom student, a neonatal nurse, an oncology nurse, a teacher, an office manager, a content manager, an HR recruiter, and an IT project manager. And that's the variety of, people that are actually in this picture. So one of my success partners that I work with, she's not on my team, but she and I just, we get along really well. We met through the business, and we share like our goals with each other and try to motivate each other. She's a vet. She is like she wants to be a full-time Beachbody coach. She's a vet. And one of the top coaches is a lawyer. She left her law practice. So the people from all walks of life, honestly. So what is the MO for a coach? So first of all, we want normal people. So we don't want to be crazy. Basically somebody like those coaches you saw in the video who have a desire to be healthy. That's where you start. You want to be healthier. You have a desire maybe set a good example for your children or your grandchildren. And wants to, the people who want to coach and be an active coach for income desire a better life, honestly, for, if they want to earn extra income. Well, even if they are healthier, they're going to have a better life, right? So, but they also want to help others, and that they are motivated. They're motivated to, work out every day and reach their goals, and they have some drive to get that. And so, and a lot of that, honestly, comes once they get started and they experience the challenge groups. So you do not have to be any kind of fitness trainer. There are fitness trainers who are coaches, but actually some fitness trainers kind of turn their nose up at Beachbody coaching. They think it's kind of like, it's not official, but that you can actually get certified as a coach in several of the fitness programs if you want, if that's a route you want to go. I personally haven't desired to do that. I have trouble counting, so I have really bad rhythm, so I couldn't ever be an instructor. But the point here is that you don't have to have any certifications. You don't have to be a dietitian. You don't have to be a nutritionist. It's all about what you learn and then paying it forward. And I learned a lot just on the 21-day fix about nutrition. And so I use what I learned doing that program to help other people. So what we look for in a coach is people who are, driven to succeed, very passionate. The more passionate you are about the products and the company, the more it's going to show and the more successful you're going to be. The people who are passionate see this as their means to an end in getting physically healthy, emotionally healthy, and financially healthy. And I say emotionally because there's a lot of audio, reading, there's a lot of resources that the company recommends and endorses and actually highly suggests that really help you become a better person, and how it helps you become a better coach and more fulfilled in life. And so we that's what we look for. We look for people that want all that in a package and then want to pay that forward. They want that for themselves, and then they want to pay it forward. It's important to me that I have somebody who's open to learning. I feel like we should always continue to be learning till the day we die. We should be learning and be open to it. And so, and obviously every day is a learning process, and especially when you're working with people, because every person's different. And so it's really important people are open and not closed off. And then people who connect with the coaches on our team. So we definitely have a particular personality on our team. We're very, very positive. We have a lot of humor. We're kind of spunky. sparkly, whatever you want to say. And so, and I think this is a really important point, because if you're not like that, there's probably another coach and another team that you'll fit better on. And it's more important for you to connect with the people that you're, just like any job. When you go on a job interview, it's kind of nice to interview with different people, so you kind of get a feel for like whether you're going to like it or not. And so it's kind of like the same here. You really want to, you're not going to be successful with a bunch of people that you don't really kind of connect with. And so that's really important. I think sometimes we lose sight of that. And it's important to me to have people who are well connected and like-minded and happy. Reduction of conflict is important on a team. So, and we don't have any conflict. It's absolutely great. So no politics in the Beachbody business. So anyways, and then the last point is that, no coach can make you successful as a coach. You have to, or nobody can work out for you. You have to do that for yourself. So we give you the tools. We have a great system for that, of training and support, but you ultimately have to do the work to do that. So we are not, as I said, fitness models, no beach bodies here. Although, Jen, you might have kind of a beach body. You're looking pretty good. So not nutrition experts. We're not cliquey. We're not elitist. Even the top coach is the most genuine, down-to-earth person you ever want to meet. We are not salesy. We're not like those little, people that rush up to you when you enter a store. And we teach how not to be. So we don't want to be that friend. Like I know my husband was really worried when I started doing this job. He thought that every time we went somewhere that I was going to be like trying to get them to buy a fitness program. Mm-hmm. And honestly, we go out and I don't even bring it up. And so I think once he got over that, like he's okay. But we and I've been to events since I started doing this with other network marketing people that from other companies, and no other company has the social media training and techniques that Beachbody people use. And it is key, honestly. I had less than 200 friends on Facebook when I started. I have over 1,500 now. I teach you how to build that network. I knew nothing. I didn't even use Facebook much. I was like on because of my daughters, so I could see their pictures of their kids. So I always say to people, don't look at me where I am now. Look at me where I was 2 years ago. It was like I was a mess. I didn't know anything, but I was determined to make it work. And now I have a lot of experience, and I love to share that with people. So you have to be your best customer. So this is somebody who won $500. One of the things that Beachbody does is awards money for people. They do daily prizes, monthly prizes, quarterly prizes, and they do an annual prize that you can win $100,000. And so Cynthia here did the 21-day fix, and she got $500 for her efforts. And so that was pretty cool. I actually did a blog about this. So getting started, what you do to sign up as a coach is you obviously need to commit to starting your fitness journey, or if you're already where you like to be, then you just continue on your fitness journey. And then you enroll in as a coach. There's 2 different ways you can do it. You can purchase a challenge pack, which is the combination of a fitness program and a month's supply of Shakeology. And a challenge pack is anywhere from $140 to $205. Although there's a cleanse, a 21-day cleanse, and that's like $300 and some dollars. So that's an option, but I've never sold one of those, honestly. So I focus on the fitness programs in this range, and or you can pay a $39.95 enrollment fee. So people who can't, my daughter was dead broke, and her husband was laid off, and she was doing a couple of part-time gigs out of her house, and they were very struggling very much. And she paid $39.95 because she couldn't afford a challenge pack. And then she ended up buying a fitness program later that month. And then she ended up buying Shakeology later that month because she got income from some sales and she was able to afford it. So I always tell people, don't let the challenge pack stop you, but you do eventually want to start trying my daughter was a little different. She signed up for the income opportunity. And a lot of people sign up for the health and fitness. Well, she signed up, she wanted the health and fitness too, but the most important thing was getting the income first. And so a lot of people buy the challenge pack and kind of start with their transformation. And then, you can sign up as a coach, and their $39.95 enrollment fee is waived when you buy your challenge pack. So that's the advantage kind of buying the challenge pack in the beginning. And you can start it that way. So I like to make sure people know there's a $15.95 monthly coaching fee. And I'll tell you in a minute what that covers. There's also a 25% discount on all products. So a lot of times people who continue to drink Shakeology, they might not want to coach, but they want their discount on Shakeology. And when you add the $15.95 with the discounted price of Shakeology, you're still getting a huge discount of like $23 is what I save in Virginia. It varies because of state sales tax, but I save $23 with my monthly coaching fee on my Shakeology every month by being a coach. And then you get 25% commission, and you get a little bit higher commission when you sell a challenge pack, but it's pretty great. But you can sell individual. We actually have a line of skincare products. We have a 3-day refresh cleanse. We have supplements. So you can get, just straight 25% commission on any of those things. But a bundled challenge pack is more value. And you also get points. There's a point system if you sell a challenge pack, which is you want to do that too. And so what you get with this monthly coaching fee is phenomenal. So you get, first of all, your products advertised on TV. So I often have people come to me and they're like, oh, I've seen that on TV. Plus, you can get leads from Beachbody. When you get to be a certain rank, they will actually give you people that have signed up with a fitness program from TV or bought Shakeology. And so that is really great that they do that. You also get some customizable websites. So you can send people to those websites. The Shakeology one, I send people to all the time. It's really great. They also are working on all the time, putting out new products, not only fitness programs, but new products. We have a mobile web application that we can use to sign to, basically we pre-register people. If they say, I want a challenge pack or I want a fitness program, you can just on your phone, say, okay, and they get sent an email. So all kinds of great tools that they provide. You also get warehouse employees. If you think about like Avon, all those people, you think about, I'm trying to think, some of the jewelry people, they have to, they do their inventory. They have to buy inventory. They have to handle that. And we don't have to handle any of that. We never ship stuff. I actually ship samples out, but that's my because I just do that. That is no requirement to do that. So the warehouse that ships and the customer support team that handles issues, that is all covered with your $15.95. And then you also get this Success Magazine. It's a custom version of Success Magazine that is available in your Coach Online office that has super duper material for listening. Like if in your car, if you want to listen to John Maxwell or Darren Hardy or Jim Rohn, all these motivational speakers, it's really great. And so as you can see, you get a lot for your $15.95. Mm-hmm. And then I just also like to point out that if you were to have to set that up yourself and you're building your own business, it would be really costly for you to do that. This is just a slide that I got from somebody that I thought was really powerful, but it just shows you if you are thinking about your own business and getting your own business, getting the Beachbody coaching business versus going and getting a franchise. I mean, look at the difference in the $39.95 versus, or $140 if you buy a challenge pack, versus an Anytime Fitness where you have to pay, you know, upwards of almost $400,000, plus you have royalty fees and a franchise fee, you know, on top of that. And so, and then Subway is, you know, it's different kind of, you know, it's a food place. But so, you know, what you're getting a business, basically. You're getting a business. And granted, you got to start from scratch. But I mean, you got to start from scratch in the sense of you got to build your brand of yourself, because, you know, you as a coach, you know, you're going to be unique, and what you offer somebody is going to be unique. So like I was a coach for probably 4 or 5 months before I came up with Not Your Average Grandma. And it was just through my transformation that I kind of had that idea. And so, but all the things that you need and the tools you need are there, and the brands are there. And so it's really, really fantastic. So we're getting near the end. So what you can expect from our team is tons and tons of support, successful role models. One of the things I like to mention is I'm very proud of my daughter. She's number 18 in the company. There's about 390,000 coaches. And that includes people who are just signed up for the discount too. So not all those coaches are actually actively working the business, but to be number 18 in the company is pretty big deal. And she went from being dead broke, down to their last, like, I think $2,000 in the bank, and they couldn't even afford like groceries after that. And now she's making about $25,000 a month as a Beachbody coach in 2 years. And so she's had a phenomenal rise. And she is basically our leader of our team. And so she's great. And we're plugged into really great, hold on a second. I'm trying to mute all. Okay. All right. And so we're plugged into really good training and really good, you know, Nikki knows all the top coaches. And so when we go to any event, we get to talk to those people, and it's really, really fun to do that. And so there, you know, there's different kinds of coaches. Let me touch on this real quick. There's discount coach I mentioned, wait and see, hobby, and business owner. So wait and see and hobby are kind of the same thing, but they're kind of like in this like little holding pattern where they're just like, they're not really ready to go sell, or they'll sell, but they just want to sell their friends and family, and they're just not really sure yet, or they just want to do a little income with retail. They don't really want to build their own team. But what's interesting is it often happens that if you see these different types of coaches, it's almost like an evolution. A lot of people start as a discount coach, and then they're like, okay, I'm waiting and I'm seeing, and now I'm thinking, I'll dabble in it, and then, oh yeah, this is really good, and then they become a full-blown business owner. So just because you think you're going to be one thing doesn't mean that you can't be another thing at some point. And that's the beauty of the Beachbody coaching business, is it's going to be always there. And you can, if you have life happens and you got to take a step back, you can deal with that. And then, because most of the coaches are working it as a part-time thing, and it takes a while to build up enough to work it full-time. So, we have a team page. I actually have a few team pages. So as you get higher in rank, you know, you get invited to different pages, but we have a basic team page where everybody can interact with each other and we share ideas with each other. We have a training that is self-paced, and you can go at your own pace depending on how busy you are or how free you are. So one of the things we have set up is where if you're a new coach, you kind of deer in headlights, you don't know what to do, you've got a customer, somebody wants to join you. So you come into, you know, as like an apprentice coach with me or another coach, and they take you under their wings in their challenge groups, and you bring your new people in there, and you kind of learn with the support of this more senior coach. And then that makes you feel a lot more confident. And then it gives a better experience too to your, you know, you're not out there flailing with your new people. We want all new people who are trying programs to have a great experience, honestly. And so we have weekly team calls. Nikki also does a team call. So there's a lot of information shared in team calls. And so, it's really great to connect with everybody. We're all, like I said, from different, all over the United States, different time zones. I have a coach that's in Hawaii. But when you get on this Zoom, it's like, each other, you just really, it's like being in the same room, and it's really great. But it is really cool when you get to meet each other in person, as well. And there are opportunities for that. There are incentives. I do weekly one-on-ones. So for whoever wants a weekly one-on-one, some people feel like they like to be independent. Other people like to be accountable. And I do goals. We work on goals and try to help people, be accountable and hit their goals. And then incentives. So I do, like right now I'm doing an incentive. I'm doing a Biggest Loser group where people get $100. One person is $100. I'm doing a leadership retreat for my coaches who rank advance. So yeah, great stuff. And then, like I said, we do training. So lots of training. So now what? This is the last slide. I have 3 minutes. So I just ask that you think about how this opportunity can improve your life and the life of your loved ones. Because not only by you getting healthier, it's going to improve the life of your loved ones, because, they're going to have you longer. They're going to, get more out of you. You're going to be more energetic. You're going to be happier. And it maybe will help your loved ones, because if you are cooking and you know how to do the meals better, then they're going to benefit. And hopefully they'll be open to trying stuff. Or they're just going to have to go it alone like my husband does. So think about the people in your life that you want to help. So, you should start thinking, about the paying it forward, because people often think that they need to get to their goal weight before they can start helping people. But in reality, you going through the struggle and you doing in the transformation, in the throes of your transformation, is when you can really reach people, and that people will really start to pay attention and say, hey, I'll do it with you, and it is a lot more fun to do it with a real true friend too, that you have in your life now. And so think about that. And then think about your goals and your dreams. I mean, a lot of people, I don't even know if I had goals and dreams before I had Beachbody. And Beachbody really made me realize that I can have dreams and I can set goals, and it's fun to do that. And it's fun. And if you don't hit your goal, then you just kind of tweak it. And you hit your goal, you make a harder goal. And so, I have a goal right now. It's a really hard goal that I'm stretching for. So, but it's in the end, it's going to help more people, and I'm excited about that. So, and think about what it would mean if you could do some of those things that, maybe it's a bucket list you have, or, maybe you're like me where you just wanted to get out of the rat race earlier than you thought you could. I didn't have that as a dream until I started realizing it was possible. So, reach out to the person who invited you here for questions, although I will take questions if anybody has any. And I just want to say, don't be afraid to take the first step. There is a 30-day money-back guarantee on all the products. You can cancel at any time. There are no strings attached with this, absolutely no strings attached. Beachbody makes it easy, and they want everybody to have success. And so back to their mission statement.